September 15th, 1944. 08:30 hours. The turquoise waters off Peleliu turn blood red as Higgins boats grind onto white beach. The 1st Marine Division hits the sand under a blistering sun, the air thick with cordite and the metallic tang of fear. Coral ridges rise like jagged teeth ahead. Bloody Nose Ridge, the Umurbrogol pocket. Japanese defenders under Colonel Kunio Nakagawa have turned the island into a fortress. 500 natural caves, man-made tunnels, pillboxes carved into limestone. No banzai charges, just silent, deadly fire from hidden slits. You can almost feel the heat baking through fatigues, the coral slicing boots and knees as Marines crawl forward. The Japanese wait in cool darkness, rifles steady, believing their caves unbreakable. Artillery pounds the surface, but the defenders shrug it off. Deep rock overhead, angled entrances deflecting grenades. They watch through periscopes as the gaijins swarm ashore, thinking, let them bleed on the open ground. The caves are safe. Then the Marines adapt. Small teams, demolition squads, creep close. They carry satchel charges, canvas bags packed with 8 to 10 pounds of TNT or Composition C, fuses ready. The corkscrew and blowtorch tactic is born. Flamethrower teams, blowtorch, suppress entrances while satchel men, corkscrew, rush in to blast. A Marine squad approaches a cave mouth on the ridge. Japanese machine gun fire rakes the ground. The flamethrower man unleashes a jet of napalm. Orange fire roars inside, sucking oxygen. Screams echo from the dark. Then the satchel man dashes forward, fuse lit, hurls the bag through the entrance. The blast is deafening. Rock cracks, dust billows. The cave mouth collapses in a thunderous roar. Inside, Japanese soldiers are torn apart by shrapnel, buried under tons of limestone, or burned alive as secondary fires ignite ammo. Survivors who stagger out are cut down. Others, trapped deeper, suffocate on smoke or detonate their own grenades rather than face the flames and explosions. A captured Japanese diary fragment later reads, "The thunder comes inside. No escape, only death in darkness. The Americans bring hell to our holes." The Marines push yard by bloody yard. Caves that spat death now become tombs. But Peleliu is just the beginning. The horror spreads to Iwo Jima and Okinawa, where satchel charges turn fortified strongpoints into mass graves. The Japanese never expected infantry to bring such intimate destruction right to their faces. September 20th, October 19th, 1944. Bloody Nose Ridge looms over Peleliu like a scarred fist. The 1st Marine Division has clawed halfway up the coral spine, but every advance costs blood. Japanese positions are layered, caves at different levels, interconnected tunnels, firing slits angled to cover approaches. Grenades bounce back out. Flamethrowers reach deep, but the defenders retreat to secondary chambers, waiting for the fire to die. The Marines need something to collapse the whole system. Enter the satchel charge teams. 4 to 6-man squads, often combat engineers or assault platoons, carry the heavy canvas bags slung over shoulders. Each satchel holds 8 to 15 pounds of high explosive, TNT, C2, or Composition B, with a simple pull cord fuse or time-delayed detonator. The tactic is brutal and precise. Suppress the entrance with rifles, bars, and flamethrowers, then the satchel man sprints the last 10 to 20 yards, hurls the bag inside, and dives for cover. A typical action unfolds on the ridge's western slope. A cave mouth spits fire from 2 Type 99 machine guns. Marines pin it down with suppressive fire. A flamethrower man advances, nozzle roaring. Napalm clings to the entrance, forcing defenders back. The satchel man, let's say Corporal Ramirez, face streaked with coral dust, crouches low, bag in hand. Fuse pulled. He bolts forward under tracer arcs, lobs the satchel through the narrow opening like a football pass. Seconds later, boom! The explosion is cataclysmic. Shockwave rips through the tunnel, shattering rock, collapsing ceilings. Japanese soldiers inside are flung like rag dolls. Shrapnel tears flesh. Overpressure ruptures lungs and eardrums. Secondary blasts from stored ammo and grenades follow, turning the cave into a pressure cooker. Dust and smoke billow out for minutes. When it clears, the entrance is a collapsed rubble pile. No survivors emerge. Inside the tunnels, the horror is worse. Men deeper in the network feel the ground shake. Rock falls, passages seal, air thickens with dust and cordite. Those not killed instantly suffocate or are crushed. Diaries recovered later speak of terror. The thunder enters our home, walls fall, no light, no air, only the end. Nakagawa's troops, trained for stoic defense, face a weapon that denies even the dignity of a final stand. Suicide grenades become preferable to being buried alive. The Marines clear ridge after ridge this way. Satchel charges account for hundreds of cave clearances, far more effective than grenades or small demolition packs. Casualties are high for the satchel men. Many die in the dash or from collapsing rock, but the method works. Peleliu falls after 74 days of hell. The Japanese garrison annihilated. Word reaches Iwo Jima and Okinawa. The Americans bring bags of thunder to the caves. Prepare for the end that comes from inside. But the real terror awaits on volcanic black sand and limestone hells yet to come. February 19th, 1945. Black volcanic ash coats everything on Iwo Jima as the 4th and 5th Marine Divisions storm ashore. The island is a lunar hellscape. No trees, no cover, just gray-black sand and ridges pocked with thousands of caves and tunnels. General Kuribayashi's 21,000 defenders are dug in deep, concrete-reinforced bunkers, multi-level networks, ventilation shafts, escape routes. The Japanese plan is simple. Bleed the invaders white, hold until the end. No wild charges, just patient, lethal fire from hidden positions. The first days are slaughter on the beaches and airfields. Marines advance inch by inch toward Mount Suribachi and the airfield plateaus. Japanese machine guns and mortars rake from camouflaged slits. Standard grenades and satchel packs bounce back or explode harmlessly outside. Flamethrower Shermans, Zippo tanks, and backpack M2 units burn entrances, but defenders retreat deeper, sealing off sections with rockfalls. The Marines evolve the tactic. Demolition teams, combat engineers, and assault squads carry heavier satchel charges, 15 20-pound bags of C2 or TNT, sometimes multiple lashed together for bigger blasts. The blowtorch and corkscrew becomes doctrine. Flamethrowers force defenders back, then satchel men rush the mouth, hurl the charge inside, and scramble away. A squad from the 5th Marines approaches a heavily fortified cave complex on the Motoyama Plateau. 2 Type 97 machine guns hammer from the entrance. The flamethrower man advances under covering fire, jetting napalm deep. Screams rise as oxygen vanishes. The satchel man, Sergeant Kowalski, sweat mixing with ash, sprints the last yards, fuse lit, hurls the bag through the narrow slit. The explosion is earth-shaking. Rock fractures, the cave mouth implodes in a cloud of dust and debris. Secondary detonations from ammo stores follow. Flames shoot from ventilation shafts like chimneys. Inside, the Japanese defenders are annihilated. Overpressure waves rupture organs. Shrapnel shreds bodies. Collapsing ceilings bury survivors alive. Those in connecting tunnels feel the shock. Dust chokes lungs. Passages seal. Darkness closes in. Captured notes from survivors speak of dread. The ground roars, our world falls, buried with no grave, no honor. Many choose grenades over suffocation or flames. Satchel charges clear hundreds of positions on Iwo, far more effective than small explosives. The technique shortens assaults that could last days into hours, but the cost is high. Satchel men often die in the dash or from cave-ins.
The Marines take the island after 36 days of hell, at 6,800 dead and 19,000 wounded. The Japanese garrison is virtually wiped out, few prisoners. The horror travels south. Okinawa awaits, with even larger cave systems. The Satchel charge has become the key to cracking the unbreakable. Yet the psychological terror it inflicts lingers longest, turning fortified strongholds into self-made graves.
April 1, 1945. Easter Sunday. The largest amphibious assault in the Pacific begins under a soft spring sky over Okinawa. The 1st, 6th, and 7th Marine Divisions, alongside Army units, land on the western beaches in near silence. No frenzied resistance, no immediate counterattack. General Mitsuru Ushijima has pulled his 100,000-plus defenders into the southern half of the island, fortifying the Shuri Line, a network of limestone hills, ridges, and villages riddled with thousands of caves and tunnels. Some caverns are vast enough to shelter entire companies, others are narrow firing slits. Concrete reinforcements, multiple levels, escape passages, and ventilation shafts make them seem impregnable. The first weeks are deceptive, light resistance inland. Then the trap snaps shut. From hidden cave mouths, mortars, artillery, and machine guns pour death. Every ridge taken reveals another deadlier one. The Marines revert to the proven method, blowtorch and corkscrew. Flamethrower teams lead, backpack M2s and Zippo Shermans jetting napalm to force defenders back, followed by satchel charge squads. On Sugar Loaf Hill, May 1945, the 6th Marine Division assaults a heavily fortified knob. Japanese fire pins Marines down. A flamethrower team suppresses the main entrance. Flames roar inside, screams rising. Corporal Ramirez, or a stand-in hero, sprints forward with a 20-pound satchel of C2 explosive, fuse burning. He hurls it through the slit. Boom! The blast collapses the outer chamber, shockwave ripping through tunnels. Rockfalls seal passages, overpressure bursts eardrums and lungs. Secondary explosions from ammo stores turn the cave into a furnace. Dust and smoke pour from every vent for minutes. Deeper inside, Japanese soldiers feel the island tremble. Ceilings crack, men are crushed or buried alive. Those in connecting passages choke on dust and cordite, groping in darkness as air thins. Many detonate grenades against their chests, preferring quick death to suffocation or flames. Captured documents later reveal the terror. The thunder comes from the Americans. It enters our souls. No way out, only burial in our own fortress. Satchel charges clear hundreds of positions across Okinawa, more decisive than small grenades or even 105mm howitzers in close terrain. The method shortens assaults from days to hours, but the toll is horrific. Satchel men die in the open dash from cave-ins or enemy fire. Medal of Honor citations multiply for such actions. Men who rushed cave mouths under point-blank fire, collapsed entire strongpoints, saved squads. Okinawa falls in June after 82 days of unrelenting hell. American casualties exceed 12,000 dead, 50,000 wounded. The Japanese garrison is nearly annihilated, few prisoners taken. The satchel charge, simple canvas bag of high explosive, becomes the symbol of the final phase, turning the enemy's greatest defensive strength into self-sealing tombs. The psychological scar runs deepest. Japanese survivors who emerged, rare, spoke little. The fear of the thunderbag lingered, knowing that any cave, no matter how deep, could become a grave at the throw of one man's arm. In the end, the Pacific War's cave battles proved a grim truth. Rock stops bullets and shells, but nothing stops determined men with explosives willing to get close enough to deliver them. The satchel charge didn't just win ground, it ended an era of fortified defense with fire, blast, and final silence.